Okay.
What?
No.
Yeah. I'll have you pray on the second one. Unless you want to pray this one in.
I'd pray both of them. Hey, there was a time he wouldn't.
No, I know.
He'd growl through
I
it.
know.
Fucking, thank you, Lord. What the fucking shit. I want to go fishing.
All right, let's go to the Lord. Heavenly Father, we thank you for today, Father. We thank you for this this time with Brandon and Justin. Father, we ask that you just reach to them, Father, and you give them comfort and you give them ease, Father. They can open up, Father, and we can help another soul, Father, and even help the soul sitting here. Father, we ask that everything we do here glorifies you and your kingdom. Father, that one that's struggling, that one that's still working hard to find you, the one that's finding hard to get to sobriety, Father, hears this. That son, that daughter, that wife, whatever it is, hears this and understands what they're going through. Father, we pray all this in your name. Amen. Let's go to work. I got to change this stupid thing.
What's that?
I got to change this stupid opening.
Hey,
so
can we use
what? I can't use copyrighted anything.
No, so we can't use like a band. Okay.
No, I still got to work with the guy that helped me do this. He's going to help me put one together. So we'll get it together. Hey, I wanted to talk about something real fast. What are you pulling a pamphlet out? Fuck.
It's not a pamphlet. Already? It's a fucking book.
It's a fucking pamphlet.
You're Larry, by the way, alcoholic.
Oh, sorry. Hi, I'm Larry. I'm an alcoholic, and I am not affiliated with anything but FFS Studios. Hey, by the way, we're recording twice today.
In fact, that's For Fuck's Sake Studios.
For Fuck's Sake Studios. We're recording twice today, and that's the last time we're going to be in this little area. The CFO over here, she gave us permission to take over one of the rooms.
Very generous.
Very generous.
So we are moving once this is done. So this one and one more we're recording, and then the studio is getting moved into its final resting place. Finally.
I'm saying, while we got another 2 set of good men,
I got to do some work in there.
500-pound table.
I got to do some work in there.
Do something with that,
right? Throw it through the wall, as many people as we got here. Hey, pull that a little bit closer, Justin. There you go. Hey, so yesterday when I left the Saturday morning meeting, we've been going through quite a little run here, all of us, right? Katie lost her cousin, died. We lost Lauren. We had 2 guys go back out and come back in. We've had a hell of a run. I mean, think about it, guys. We had a tough one. And yesterday, fuck, it's going to get you.
Told you, Katie.
I mean,
sorry.
Yesterday when I saw Jimmy, I had time to spend with Edgar on the way over there, and him and
right.
We had a good long talk. And man, when I saw Jimmy, whew, that got me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What got
his
me?
Pain? His pain. You know what? And quite honestly, I can remember when Brandon was going through it and watching him struggling like that. It hurts, right? And so when I came home, but
it's so necessary.
It is necessary.
That well-whooped
right?
ass,
right,
is so necessary for.
So I call Doug, and I'm chit chatting with Doug because
I want to make a shout out to Doug,
right?
Because when I did my little 4-step yesterday with you, my son first, then with you. Mm-hmm. I'd called Doug first because he's my sponsor, and guess what he didn't do?
He didn't answer.
No, I got another resentment. I got a resentment list written up for him today.
I have I had 2 things. One, I had John he called me and was pissed off, so I owe him a huge amends. I was trying to help him with some stuff, and he asked me to help him, and I never did follow up.
Oh, mother!
And he was pissed at me. So I owe
Johnny H.
Yes, I screwed up. You know what it is? I get so consumed with work, that I just everything. I mean, even Katie gets left behind when I get so consumed with work, and we've talked about that, right? I mean, our balance gets skewed, and we go the whole different direction. So yesterday, when I got back, like I said, I called Doug, and now we're sitting with the champion of the 184s yesterday from the jiu-jitsu tournament in Stockton. Just so you know,
182s,
182s, the champion sitting over there. Anyway, so I was going up to watch Rob pretty much just walk onto the podium and get his gold because he didn't do anything but weigh in. And
not my fault. My competitor showed up, Justin.
I didn't ask for a fucking excuse.
He checked in.
I didn't ask for an excuse.
I
didn't ask for an excuse. I said he just didn't.
Win by default.
He's full of shit. I didn't get on the podium. I just got my medal, got my points, and left.
That's fine too.
Yeah.
Anyway, so when I got home, I called Doug, and I was like, man, it was just weighing on me real heavy, right? So I got home, and you told me, what'd you say? You need to do some writing on that, right? Even and I lost a very close, almost like a father to me. His was due to he was 91 years old. So we've had a little bit of a run. And one of the things I wrote, I just did some research and reading, is why is my empathy getting worse, getting more deep as I get older, right? As the older I get, the worse I get. And one of the things, this is honestly ChatGPT, right? Going through all this stuff and looking at the answers, is it's actually very common for people to feel more empathy as they get older. Life experience, hardship, emotional maturity, shifting priorities, and often deepen compassion as people accumulate experience, loss, illness, mistakes, recovery. They gain reference points that allow them to truly feel what others are going through. Another question for you, Larry. Is your empathy showing up more as compassion, or does it sometimes overwhelm you like you absorb other people's pain?
That's you.
I want to absorb that other person's pain. I want to hold it for them until they can. Fuck me. That instinct reflects deep compassion. Many people have experienced suffering themselves, feel a desire to carry some of the emotional weight for others. However, there is an important distinction between compassion and absorbing someone else's pain. Compassion means sitting with someone in their suffering. Absorbing their pain can eventually exhaust even strong people.
Right. And that's not that's not your job.
No.
That's God's job, for them to throw the extra burden onto him.
Right. Question from chat said, do you feel this way mostly toward people who remind you of your own past struggles, or toward almost anyone who is hurting? My answer was watching people walk through the depths of hell as I went through. Answer was shared suffering creates powerful identification. When someone has lived through deep hardship, they recognize it immediately in others. The recognition often creates strong empathy and a desire to help guide others through it. Question to you, Larry. When you watch someone go through what you went through, do you mostly feel compassion, or do you sometimes feel urgency or frustration, like you want to shake them or help them avoid some of the mistakes? I answer is that depends. When I see someone depleted and has no fight left in them, I want to deep compassion. And when I watch someone just keep beating their head against a virtual wall, I can't figure out why they keep doing it. I want to shake them in frustration. Those are two different forms of empathy. Compassion for someone who is exhausted and frustrated towards someone repeating destructive patterns. Both reactions are common among people who have learned hard lessons. Here comes Rob. Here's where Rob comes in. Question from chat. When you see someone repeating those destructive patterns, does the frustration come from knowing how much pain is coming from, or remembering that once behaved as yourself? The sad part is I protect myself. We've talked about this many times. Sad part is I protect myself to turn back and to just watch. I know there is absolutely nothing I can say or do to stop it. So for me, I protect my heart by staying away, not watching the wheels fall off. Stepping away can actually be a healthy boundary. Sometimes protecting your heart means recognizing that you cannot control another person's choice. People usually change when they are ready. Yeah, so I mean, it's just that
That's why when I see Jimmy like that, being his sponsor, I love it.
Right.
I'm grateful for it.
I'm
there. We've talked yesterday, and he left that meeting, went to the next meeting.
I talked to him multiple times yesterday. Yes, like I told him, I said, when you got that rumbling in your stomach and you need to take a shit, and you go take a shit and you feel better for a little while, well, that's what you're doing, right? But eventually you're going to have to take another shit. So just go till that bug gets out of you. We just got to keep taking a shit.
Yeah, well, that's a great
analogy.
That's a great metaphor. Appreciate that.
And you sit on the toilet, and he sits on a toilet too.
Meditate while you're there. Use that as your meditation time.
Great.
I've heard that somewhere before.
Yeah.
Why on earth?
After you sit on the toilet, don't you?
Well, you know where it came from. Anyways, that is my opening monologue that I wanted to get to. Only, like I said, it's just I was struggling with that yesterday, just bad. And seeing him, and Edgar wasn't in that to me wasn't in that there, right?
Edgar hasn't gone that deep yet.
Yeah. Do you think, Brandon?
He was Monday.
Was he?
Right? Well, you were there. He was hurting Monday.
Was he?
Yeah.
But he was hurting because he was drunk, hung over, and he had the sweats. He wasn't getting any sleep. That was his. Jimmy is hurting because he's broke his family's heart again. He's let his family down again, and that's weighing on him more. Not so much the court case that he's facing. That sucks too.
Oh, yeah.
That's on his mind. But every time he cries to me, it's
Yeah.
I mean, this is how many more times do I got to let my fucking family down?
Right.
You know.
Yeah. So
I don't know how many times are you gonna?
Yeah. So
So we're start Thursday. He and I start step work again.
yeah, so it was just yeah, I don't know what it was with Jimmy. Like I said,
It's pain, buddy.
You know what? I think the other
It's
thing
pain.
is I just met Edgar, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe his face was painful all the way over there. I don't know him that well, right?
Oh, Monday he was hurting. It
Yeah,
was beautiful.
Jimmy, I've had the pleasure of walking with
It is
him.
beautiful to me.
Oh, it is. Hey,
Well-
Brandon, I'm telling you, it is a beautiful thing to see. It is for me. I hate seeing it. It hurts me to see it. But it's beautiful for me because I know damn good and well I don't want to ever be back in there. It's the same thing.
And
I
it means
told-
that person has a chance.
Yep.
No guarantee, but at least if you can catch him, if you can hit him, like what you shared yesterday at the meeting about the step work, you and me.
Yeah.
Right.
Had we gone any slower,
Oh yeah, that was a good. That was
Wouldn't have worked.
no. You know what's funny? When Brandon said that, I immediately thought of Jay because it's basically the same thing. When you said that, I was like, that's the reason why I jumped away from Jay. I mean, he was limping along. He was doing it at a pace where he could get along with it. Right? Jay was in that period
But
where he was okay.
that's my frustration. A lot of
Right.
the guys, well, this is why my sponsor did it. Go ahead, go home and read the first one. They don't need a fucking reading lesson.
Right.
They need some relief. They need some fucking
Right.
hope. Let's
Right.
get, when they feel like they're helping, they're doing
Right.
something for their own cause. They need to get a little hope.
That's right.
I don't know.
All right. Well, that was me to start. Sorry, I wanted to
You
go
know why?
through that.
You know why,
What-
Brandon? Because last time, the second one when he had Curtis on, he actually got to speak, but the one before Curtis,
I had to catch up.
Katie and I were talking, and he just couldn't get it. He didn't get enough fucking mic time.
I
so
got-
he's
Just made up for it.
crying
I
like
got
a bitch.
I got the word count when I
Curtis Obispo?
Yeah.
How is he doing, by the way?
Fantastic.
Yeah, I haven't
He's
talked
doing-
to him
he's
in
doing-
several years.
He's doing
Oh,
fantastic.
you know Kurt?
Yeah.
Amazing.
I haven't talked to him in a long
He
time.
just our last
He's doing
episode
good.
was Kurt, and it just amazing, doing
Yeah,
great.
He's a
He's
really
back.
good guy.
Yeah.
He's back.
Really
He's
good
back coaching. He had to mend some fences on that side of things, as you probably know.
Absolutely.
Which he did. He had to own some of his stuff, and he made sure that they got some clarity, and he's back
Good for
teaching.
him.
Yeah, he's
for
doing
him.
good.
I'm glad he's doing better, though.
He had gone through it.
I'm sure he was going through it when I seen him, and that was probably about 8 years ago.
Oh yeah, yeah. Was he then? Because he told us, right? That's getting in a little deeper because it was just the last couple of years he was telling us.
I knew him, and everything was fine. So all the
Okay.
stuff that he had been doing and
Right.
dealing with, that happened after I left.
All right.
I wasn't really around a whole
Gotcha.
lot. That was all more
But
rumors.
the last couple of years, his marriage crumbled.
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
I did.
Then the drinking-
I was aware of all of that.
Because
I
you've
just-
been with Oakdale MMA for a little while.
yeah,
Okay,
for a long,
so
for
yeah,
a
he
while.
has seen it. Anyways, let's get into that. There is Justin, Brandon. We got Brandon back, and Brandon has been talking about this episode for a little while. 2 of them, right? He actually said he wanted Jamie to come on, which is his wife. And then as we were walking through this,
Because we
I
got
said-
Brandon twice. This will be 3.
Right. We and I said, well, what about bringing your son on, right? And he's like, let me walk through that with him. So
Yeah,
here we are.
I had never brought it up. I'm Brandon. I'm an alcoholic.
Thanks, Brandon.
And for the record, I'm doing much better than I was the last time I was here. Actually, I think about a year ago.
Yeah, that's something.
I was not in a good place, and it took till I hit that year for me to come out of that state of mind that I was in. And anyways, to get back to what Larry was saying, yeah, I told him, yeah, I've heard a few men and their wives come on here, and I thought, well, it'd be good for me and my wife. And he said, well, what about your son? And I thought, well, I'd have to ask him. I said, I don't know. I've never really brought it up to him, but we'll see. And he was okay with it. And then, I thought, well, we'll see when it gets closer. And Larry texted me, I think, Thursday morning and said, is it still a go? And I was like, well, I think so.
I'll tell you why I texted you Thursday morning, because I actually double booked.
And he didn't know it till I had to.
You did. He kind of reminded me. I'm like, oh, fuck. Because I was going to do Stephanie from there, and then I was going to do you and Jamie, right? Yeah. And then I was like, oh, fuck. But you weren't really committed with Justin yet, so everything was fine. And then I was like, well, I better check to see if Justin is coming. Then when you said yes, I just had Stephanie was completely fine with it, though.
Yeah. So yeah, anyways, I double-checked with Justin when we got home from work that day, and I said, hey, I went ahead and confirmed this for Sunday. I said, are you still going to go? Or I actually kind of said it kind of dorky, and he said, you sound like your mom. I was like, all right, you can shut up now. Anyways. So here we are, and he goes, well, what are we supposed to talk about? And I said, well, your experience in dealing with who I used to be and who I am now may help somebody else. So
Absolutely.
maybe we could go with that, because we had a strained relationship as he was growing up.
That started at what age do you think, Brandon?
Pretty early on.
Yeah.
I didn't know how to be a parent. I didn't know how to raise a man. I was hard on him when I didn't need to be. I didn't listen when I needed to.
I would say you did a pretty good job raising a man. You were hard, but you weren't the best father, but you were good at raising a man, because you did.
Pretty good compliment.
You did.
Explain that, Justin.
I was getting to that. I was trying to think about it. I was trying to think about how I could
articulate that one.
Yeah, because he wasn't necessarily there emotionally, but he was there to show me like what a man. And I had thought about this for about a week. Over the week, I was like, this is something that had really stuck with me. Like, a man wakes up every day. A man wakes up and takes care of his own. A man takes care of his bills. A man takes care of everything that he needs to take care of, regardless of what's going on. If you want to go out and party and have fun, that's fine, but you still need to wake up and you need to go to work every day. You can go and have fun, but you got to go to work. You got to take care of what you need to take care of. And you can still do everything else, but the necessities overweigh the wants, and you have to take care of your needs before your wants. Now, his wants and his needs constantly were a wave, and he was battling with his own things, but he always made sure that we at least were taken care of in the best way he could provide. So in that way, he necessarily wasn't the best emotionally there, I will say that, but that's fine, because my mom and I had plenty of other people looking back on it that were supportive emotionally, and I didn't need someone to be there emotionally, because I needed someone there to show me who I needed to be. And looking back on it, it's like, okay, you can't act like this, you can't be like this, and he did a pretty good job of a direction, maybe not as I do, kind of. Yeah, not maybe as good as a shepherd, but more so as a pointer. Like,
good point. Wow,
like,
nice analogy.
Yeah.
He's not necessarily like, don't follow me as a guide, but follow as what I say, because I know this isn't the right thing to do, but I know what the right thing to do is, and I'm not strong enough to do it, but this is what you should do.
Yeah,
Pretty damn good analogy.
Saying that a few times, that I do know the right way, but I ain't doing it. So here, I'll tell you what the right way is.
Just don't follow me.
Yeah, don't follow what I'm doing, because it ain't right.
But as children, 9 times out of 10, we do as we see.
Yeah.
Yeah. What age did you recognize as alcohol? What age did you look at your dad and go, a man shouldn't be drinking that much?
At no age.
Never, really?
No, I didn't care.
Wow. Okay.
Now, how was your relationship changed 5, 12, 18? You're 27?
Yeah.
Right. See, I'm fucking smart.
Hey,
I remember.
I'm horrible with numbers. I didn't care about the alcohol. It was more so the mood swing. Like for instance, I remember being probably like 8, 9 years old. We'd go out to eat. We'd have a great time, and then just in the duration of the drive home, he'd change into this weird monstrosity of an angry person and just be angry and want to throw things and yell and just be destructive. And I couldn't understand in my young head how you could go from being so happy to so mad in just a short time span. So like something like that was probably...
It happened a lot.
But what was going on, Brandon? What's with the Jekyll and Hyde?
Well, would hit.
I know.
I mean, when you drink it at a high speed,
right? And by the time it hits,
you're on your way home, and
then the real that's what we call the real person
out.
Comes out, that anger.
Because I wanted to stay and go back into the bar and keep drinking, and to keep the party going.
Right.
Here we're going home and going to go
do the responsible fucking thing.
Yeah, and that wasn't what I had in mind. So yeah, it would come out as anger, and yeah, that happened a lot, and very regretful. I mean, I can't live in that, but he's absolutely right. That happened a lot.
Well, let me ask a question though, Justin, only because your response to me was, I honestly was not strange, but when you said you didn't care about the alcohol, I mean, did you recognize that behavior was?
Oh yeah.
Okay, you recognize that.
But oh yeah,
Okay.
oh yeah, I recognized that at a very young age. But I also realized that he took care of his own. Like he was high functioning.
Okay.
Like there's a difference if we were living in bunk beds and and shit was bad, and everything was fucking bad, and we were constantly late on our bills and constantly getting fucking kicked out of places, and people constantly had bad. Like to me, it's a difference because at least he's making an effort to be a functioning human being that provides and actually puts forth effort towards the community. May not be perfect, but he is putting forth effort.
Okay.
And when you've seen examples of the other,
yeah.
you know, that,
But it also goes back to what like Brad and I say, or Brandon's even said it. I mean, I'm not. I mean, I pay my bills. I do this. I do that. I've never lost my wife. I've never done this. I'm not an alcoholic, right? That was the hard thing for us.
But we also thought that's what a man was. You know,
for sure,
there's food
absolutely.
there's food on the table.
What's wrong with you guys?
You know,
there's food here.
Yeah.
You guys are living very well.
The rain has never hit your head when
right.
But that's not what a father.
No,
is. That's a provider.
Yeah.
But that's not a father.
Yeah.
But Bonnie had the same thing. Was the family she had? The alcoholics that she thought were the ones you're talking about.
Right.
They didn't have that. Living off the state, they were, So my husband can't be an alcoholic. He doesn't beat me.
Right.
There's always, he always goes to work. There's food on the table.
Now,
I'm a provider.
I will say though, I did think he was an alcoholic. There is a distinction. Like I do. There is you can be an alcoholic.
He's just a high functioning alcoholic.
Exactly, just like an addict. Like you
he
can
ain't
be
under the bridge fucking guy.
Exactly. Like at least he understands the core values of being a human, which is you need to go to work, you need to provide, you need to pay your bills, you need to do this, you need to do that, and I want to party. I know a lot of people like that are even my age, and they're growing, and I can see the early signs of it because my parents had me at such a young age. I'm about the age of where they would have been when I was probably about 5.
Okay.
And I know people that are about my age that have kids that are about 5, and I can see the early signs of them going through that early addiction. Now it's whether they're going to make the change of, are they going to be high functioning, or are they just going to go down that dirt hole and end up under a bridge?
Yeah.
Because you can do both, but because if you become a high functioning one, then there's still a chance to come back from it and be someone that is sober, or come back, or maybe do a lot less of it and do it in moderation. But if you go down a dirt hole, then you're constantly begging and and then it's a constant revelation of despair, and then you constantly curse things, and then it's a blame game and not a responsibility game.
You got a very intelligent son. You know that? Jesus Christ.
He's a thinker.
Wow. That's pretty good.
But now if we get into it, he'll also let you know his shortcomings.
Right.
That he still needs, he works through because of the anger that he saw from his father.
Right.
He realizes his short temper, and that he recognizes it, plays it. But
on the way before we left the house, I could tell he was nervous, and me and Mom talked about it on the way here, and she said he deals with his emotions the way you used to. He doesn't want to get emotional or anything else. He deals with it with anger.
Yeah.
Because you were short with everybody before we left, and I knew it. And I was like,
but he knows that. We didn't know that we were doing that. He knows that.
Yeah, and it's funny is all of us sitting at this table, we're just like your dad, right? I mean, like I said, this house, the cars, everything, my family never, ever lost anything, ever. They live at a very high level, but they were losing their father, right? That's where when my daughters were on here, that's where the trouble came in, right? They didn't respect their father anymore. They didn't know whether dad was going to live or die. They didn't know. They just didn't know at any point. They didn't know what was going to happen with me. I mean, when Katie at some point was having to talk to my daughters, my other ones that was living here, is they were making plans on how they were going to live, because they had already made plans of something happening to me. So they were making alternate plans.
Or if you were going to, Katie said it, if you were going to lose, if you lost your job, that income came, you're gone, Daddy.
Right. Yeah. So that's where the difference was. At some point you had to recognize, let me rephrase that, because that doesn't sound right. But at some point you had to recognize your dad's problem was affecting more than just his daily drinking.
But
yes,
Justin, as you started growing up, as you got more mature, as in the teenage years, where you started to become your own person, how was that? Was that a battle? Because eventually there had to be, as you're coming into your own manhood, the battle, or How did you?
Yeah.
What was the communication like then? What was the relationship like?
I
Young
would say
adulthood.
lack of communication.
Right.
Wow.
What communication?
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, that's what. Yeah.
Because for a long period of my time, we didn't talk, and then when we did talk, it was just arguments because we didn't know how to really communicate.
Okay.
He would get defensive, and then I would get defensive,
And then stop talking.
and then we would just stop talking because he didn't know how to open up, and I didn't know how to talk to him, and he didn't know how to talk to me. Within the last like 2 years, I've kind of had to like corner him and poke him and be like, just talk to me. Like I don't, and intentionally antagonize him to have fun.
I
Damn
believe
it, Brandon.
I believe
We
it.
understand
No, yeah.
that one.
And,
We get it.
Yeah.
But I do that because I realize one of my closest friends, Clayton, he did that to me, and he had me open up, and now he's one of my closest friends, and I can come to him to anything. Right. And so I realized, like, and Clayton's a lot like me, and a lot like my dad, and a lot like everyone in this room, and he's really hard-headed and really stubborn and really hard to talk to, but.
Well, Rob's hard-headed. I'm not.
Well,
No, not at all.
no. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But I would feel like I felt like that helped a lot to kind of get through to my dad, was just try to work through that. But yeah, I would say, I don't know, maybe 12, 13. I don't know, probably middle school, early high school.
You started.
Well, when I started to feel angry.
Okay.
That's when it started. It's not necessarily because he was always the same emotionally.
Okay.
And even like as I got older and looking back on it, he never really changed. Like he changed a little bit and got more angry and got more bitter, but I think that's just more of what was going on in his life, and that's fine, and that's okay. That happens. But for me, it was like I got older, and then like teenage years, puberty hit, testosterone hit, and I had a fucking surge of rage.
Right.
And I didn't understand it. And then I was fighting all the time. So then I had more rage fucking coming through.
Right.
So I had more testosterone, more rage, and I was just on a fucking beamline of just fuck everyone.
Right.
And he was a good outsource because he was already mad. So it was just, let's just fucking argue.
Yeah, that had to make it very, very fun time for your mother.
Oh yeah, I bet. Yeah. Fucking awesome.
Did you guys ever build a ring in the backyard and just do
No.
it that way?
No.
Hey, so
Probably should have though.
Brandon, was Justin, when you're drinking, when Brandon was born, what
Justin was
stage?
born.
When Justin, what did I say?
Brandon.
Why? When Justin was born, where was your drinking at? I mean,
Okay, what's the age difference between Bree and Justin?
2 years.
Okay.
2.5.
so Bree's
the daughter.
I forgot the daughter. Sorry, my bad. Is she older or younger?
Older. He was
Okay.
born in 95. I was 20. He was born in 98. I was 23.
Okay.
During that time, well, Rob will like this part. I was heavy into meth at that time.
Methamphetamines.
Methamphetamines.
You
Go
meth
fast.
heads.
Yeah.
Go fast.
Yeah, so probably more so when Justin was born, that was prevalent in my using.
Wow.
And I'll be honest, I drank all the time.
Yeah.
I remember my wife telling me that once I turned 21, alcohol was like all the time because I could buy it. I didn't think I looked that old, but I could buy alcohol before I turned 21. But as soon as I turned 21, then I could get it on sale.
Right.
Like, now I could go to Save Mart and buy beer and it'll be cheaper. So I always had beer.
That's funny.
And
a
the
good motivator.
alcohol
Yeah.
wasn't
We're-
as big of a
we're
deal
simple
until
creatures.
I quit meth. I quit meth at like 35. And when I quit doing that, then my drinking really escalated.
That's what.
Same-
That's
same as Rob.
Same as mine.
Same as
Because
Rob.
I had to change my mind somehow all the time.
Right.
If I couldn't do it with one, I was going to do it
Broke
with
my little
another.
heart.
Yeah. So,
And you were
but
mostly
addiction.
beer like
But when
me.
he was born, my addiction was full blown. I mean, I've been a full blown addict since I was probably 16.
Right,
Of
right.
something, alcohol, meth, smoked weed since I was
Because you went
14.
through your first rehab when you were 16.
17.
17.
My senior year, I
Right.
got kicked out of school right before
Right.
before I graduated.
And when you went into recovery, or you quit drinking or recovery a couple years before this last one, right?
Yes, in 2022.
I think he stayed sober 18 months, I believe.
16
Right.
months.
And how old were you, Justin, when he went into rehab that time?
He's like 24, 23.
Yeah. It was like 23. Yeah. Because, yep. Yeah, I
And
was 23.
when he went through it the first time, did you see any difference from him when he came out? Did you see that anger switch on him at all?
No, I feel like he was trying. He did try, but there wasn't an effort in his head. Like he didn't want
That's the point I was trying to get to. Yeah, that's the point I was trying to get to. So I mean, he didn't let go. But and then this time when he got sober, how long did it take you to see that difference in him?
Like 6 months.
Yeah, that's about right. That's about right.
Yeah.
That is literally, because it was at the wedding, and it was shortly after that, and it was when we had him on this podcast that we were his second time. No, it was your first time.
The first time was 3 months.
Right.
He was.
Yeah, he was.
Second time 6 months. He wasn't much better, but he was better.
That's why you guys brought me in, because I was
Right.
pissed off.
Well,
Well,
that's
it was
when
like an intervention.
Mama had reached out to me.
Right.
So
She's good at that.
yeah.
Yeah. So it was. Those. And so you said about 6 months. So talk about the difference. Let's talk about his recovery at this point. The difference in your guys' relationship now compared to a year ago.
I mean,
I would say a year ago to now, it's it's definitely gotten better, but I'd say it's been about the same. It's been a steady increase. I would say our relationship over the last 3 years has gone up.
Really?
Yeah.
So that's really before he even got sober.
well,
about that time.
he was trying to.
Okay.
He went to rehab first time.
Okay,
Then for
okay.
16 months, stayed sober, dry, really.
Right.
And then
Right.
But that's when I really was trying to, like, when he was trying to make efforts, that's when I told him, I was like, I'm no longer going to try until you try.
Okay.
So if you make efforts, I make efforts. And as long as you are continually making efforts, I will continually trying to make efforts. So even though he did fuck up, and people fuck up. I mean, it's just, how long is it going to take you until you come back?
Right.
And let's make that recovery period shorter. It's just like fighting or working out. I mean, you do stairs, you run 10 sets of stairs. Well, you're going to be really tired for a week. Well, next time, let's try to cut that down to 3 days, 2 days, 1 day, and then you can run them every day.
Right.
Same thing.
Good point. Good point. I'm going to ask another question and probably bring up some old stuff. So when your dad came home, that very last drunk that he had, he was in a bad way. And some of the stuff that he was saying, do you want to talk about any of that stuff?
Honestly, I would say most of the stuff that I remember when he was drunk was when I was younger, because as I got older, it was just nonsense, because I had an alcoholic father and an alcoholic grandpa. And I had a lot of friends that had alcoholic parents. And at that point, it was...
you just had it tuned out, kind of?
Yeah, it's tuned out, and also it's just fucking nonsense. Like, what the fuck's just some drunk person talking? I don't give a fuck. Like, and I'm also old enough now that I've been at a bar, so it's like, blah, 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 blah. Right. Shut the fuck up. I'm going to go back to doing what I'm doing.
Well, how do you feel about drinking?
I don't really drink that much.
You don't?
I like to go out and party and have fun
Right.
with my friends, but that's exclusively with my friends.
Do you worry at all about having your dad's disease?
Oh yeah. Oh no, I'm 100%.
You're aware of it?
I'm 100% have an addicted person. I
Okay.
mean, I smoke weed constantly. but I like weed, and that's the only thing
Is
that
what
I
it
really
is.
like. I've never really liked pills. I don't like Coke.
Right.
I've tried it. Don't like it. I'm already a jittery person with a high anxiety.
Right.
I don't need uppers. I don't like uppers. I like smoking weed. It makes me feel cool and calm. I can talk and I can absorb information,
Right.
and my brain functions at an even level, and I don't have to worry about being paranoid. And I don't like alcohol because it makes me feel like an asshole, and I have no frontal lobe cortex, and I know I need that because I have a shortest fuse if I don't have it. I will light off and I will take this fucking thing and throw it at someone if I'm drunk, or take my clothes off and run around naked if I don't give a fuck, because I don't care what anyone thinks.
Right.
That's a problem.
80 hydroalcohol.
Yeah, that's a problem. That's a problem.
Don't go in the garage.
Yeah, that's a problem. So I don't
Oh,
like
maybe
to
we
drink.
will. That could make some good. Make a good
My friends have plenty of videos of me falling into wheelbarrows with pine cones and just being a complete jackass, but it's all for fun.
Right.
But
So
I don't like to drink.
So you don't feel like this disease is going to be inherited to you at all.
I feel like it would if I didn't have the outlets that I do have now currently, as in like working out, because I do understand why. Because when I do go out and drink and party, I understand why the high and the continuing of the party. Because when I'm in that, I have that feel. I have that. I'm exactly like that. No, we're not stopping.
Yeah, there's no stop.
Because that's why, like, if I do want to go and party for a long time, we're going to go to San Francisco because those parties don't stop till fucking 7 a.m.
Right.
And I can party all night long with everyone I want and then go home and go to sleep and sleep all day. And everything's fine. And then, but I don't want to do that because then it's loss of time, and time you can't get back.
Nope.
That is the one resource you can't not get back. So you got to spend it wisely. And if you're constantly spending every weekend having fun, at one point, are you going to cash the check of not having fun?
True fact. Very knowledgeable kid. Where did that come from? Must be from Jamie.
From watching and processing.
That is watching and processing. I'm going to let you take over some questions because you were more involved in this.
He definitely, he's learned a lot from watching. I mean, you can hear him talking. He's got that addiction.
He does.
Just keeps it at bay.
Right.
He knows his limitations.
I'm so happy that he's not
so
a
hard,
daily
honestly.
drinker like I was.
Because I remember when I turned 21, it was the most drunk I ever got. I went to a Hollywood Undead concert. I drank an entire bottle of Crown and an entire fifth of moonshine that a buddy brought me at work. And my dad was running the job. It was at Gallo. It was during the rebuild, and he was like, I told him, I was like, I'm gonna take off at noon, and then it turned into like 10:30, and I just started drinking from that day. And then after that, for like the next 3 years, I went out and partied almost every week, every month, and then I looked back and I was like, this is not fun. I do not like this. And that was around 23, 24 when he was about to get sober. So then that was when I was also trying to be like, in my head, like, you know what, I can understand. And it was a look back period on his youth, in his ability to be like, okay, I can understand why he wanted to continue the party the way he did. Except I have other things outside of this that I want to do, and maybe he didn't have that need or that drive or that people around him to give him that at that time. And that's fine.
One thing I will add is I'm very proud of the growth that you've made. Not just us, but you.
Well, I appreciate it.
You've made a lot. And I'm not going to try to take credit, but I think you've seen me make growth, and it's made you realize that it's possible. You know, being my son, that you can make those improvements, and that makes me so happy and so proud. And just we constantly have to work to communicate and just to hang out. Just like the other day, I think it was Tuesday. I was sitting on the couch. I was going to go to a Bible study, and he says, "You want to go to Target?" Yeah, let's go. He goes, "We'll go get some food." You know, I told the guy I'm not going to make it, and I told him what was going on. He's like, "Oh, absolutely." You know, and that was great. I mean, we didn't do nothing special. We went to Target.
Yeah, you did.
I was going to say
that's absolutely
Well,
special.
I mean, nothing particular.
I got you.
And we just had normal conversation and went and got a hamburger and just spent a couple hours together, and that would have never happened before. It wouldn't have happened.
Those are
because
all-
I was so volatile.
Yeah.
You know, I was so
It's going
easily
to take you a
offended,
couple
and so
hours
was he.
away. Take you a couple hours away from your drinking.
Yeah.
To go do that.
Yeah,
You know,
and now I don't.
You know, funny thing about what you just said is, do you want to go to Target with me? Fuck no, I don't want to go, but I'm going to because I want to be with you, right? Katie will ask me that same thing right now. You want to go? No, but I'm going to because I want to be with you.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, fuck, not one man
See,
wants
mine's
to go to
different.
Target.
Bonnie goes, "Hey, you wanna go-"
I don't really want. That's why I was asking about other people.
But
to come
hey,
with me,
I'm
'cause I
gonna
was
go.
like, I don't really want
I'm gonna go because I want. You asked me to go,
Yeah.
right? Same thing with Katie. Same thing with my daughter. If they ask me to do, I'm gonna go. All right, we're getting ready to go to Disneyland. Do you want to go? Absolutely fucking not. But my grandkids are gonna be there, and my kids are gonna be there, so I'm going. Right? Period. I'm going without a doubt. I'm going. Same thing with you, right?
Yeah, and I just felt like I had to seize that opportunity. It's like, you know, if I keep saying no, like I have for all these years, someday he's going to quit asking.
That's
So
right.
I got, yeah, absolutely. Let's go. You know, and the
can't-
first thing that came to my mind is, well, I'm going somewhere. And I just thought, no, he'll understand. So I called or sent him a text, said, hey, I'm not going to make it. And then I seen him at church today, and I told him. He was like, oh, no big deal, man. I'm glad you did it. I'm like, well, so am I.
You know, the absolutely one thing you'll never regret on your deathbed is spending more time with your kids, right? That is by far one of the most important things. I think you read it here a while back. The the nurse that was asking the questions, or did Conchetta read that? You know, those are one of the most important things. Is
Well,
you just
she
can't
had
get
one
that.
of it,
Yeah, you just can't get that back. And that's what I say when Katie asked, "Do you know?" Because when I was drinking, and Katie would ask me, "Do you want to go to Walmart? Do you want to go do this?" Fuck no, I ain't going. Right? But hell no, because that's 2.5 hours of free drinking. I don't have to listen to her bitch at me about. Right? Now when she asks if
My daughter made it back to school, so I'm good.
Amen. I was worried about that. I was over here thinking about it.
I'm not worried about it. I prayed for her. She left. I laid hands on the car. I'm good to go. She'll make it.
So, anyways, well, Katie, you got questions? Katie's always good for questions.
Justin, I mean, of course, we love our parents. I mean, well, sometimes, you know, because that's my, you know, I've heard people, guys.
I think I know what you're going to say.
Yeah.
I'm going to let you finish, but I love what you're about to say.
But how is your love for your father? You know, that's my dad. You know, like you said, because your father's an asshole. You know, in the relationship you had, but he's my father and I love him. What's it now?
All right, I'm going to answer this in 2 parts.
Come on.
I love my father. I also hate the fuck out of my father. My dad is 2 different people. Now, those feelings are one and the same, and they can both come back very easily depending on the circumstances and the characteristics of my father. My father unfortunately, it is conditional, because if you start drinking and you start doing those habits, it is back to, I fucking hate you, because you start doing the same things that you did that I don't like, and that we all don't like, and that you don't like yourself for. Therefore, I'm no longer going to like you. Mm-hmm. But if you keep doing this, then I love you. So it's not, and I hate to say it like that, but it's true.
Why?
But it's true, and but because I do love my dad, and I never really hated him. I just hated who he was. So that's why I said I love because I also thought about that was something else I thought about over the week, and I was wondering if you were going to bring that up. Yeah. So that.
Why were you wondering if he was going to bring that up? Has he asked you that before?
No, just more so because I know Rob.
He knows Rob.
Because I know Rob. I was like, I wonder if he's going to bring that up. So I'm going to think about that and really think about that question.
Because you have daughters. I have one of each. He has one of each. The relationship's different. The love is the same for your kids, but the relationship is different. Father, son, father, especially at different times of life. My daughter needed me at different times. Like different than she needs me now. And she needs her mom at different ways at different times. But where they're at now, like where me and my son are at now, dude, it's awesome. Yeah. But and I've never had the adversarial relationship with my son. It's just been he doesn't remember me drinking. He just remembers good dad.
Right.
You know, Justin remembers, and now he's had that dad a lot longer than this one, and I know what's coming because I know both men, and it's going to be amazing. Especially when Justin's eventually going to have kids of his own, and he's going to do different than Dad did, but he's also going to have Grandpa. You know, this man.
Right. This man.
What a blessing.
Yep.
What a blessing.
Also, I'll add on to that. I'll probably do the same thing sometimes.
Probably.
Because I have found as I've gotten older that you don't realize that you do the same things as your parents until you get older and you look back and you're like, oh, I did the same shit that you did.
True fact.
Yeah.
True fact.
Yep.
You've been awful quiet.
But
I thought I was adding the right amount of
Now, just Brandon.
to this. What?
I don't want to get into all that because we have the regrets because there's many of them. Okay. As you're growing, what do you see? What do you see and hope the relationship with your son goes? I mean, how do you? It's getting better, but tell me about him and how you've seen as you get sober. Because when we got those new pair of glasses, those sobriety glasses, and we look at the mistakes we made.
I'm just super proud of him, and I see the progress that he's making. Right along with me. I mean. And like I said, I think he sees in me that it's possible for our DNA to make changes and to improve. And he's taking the steps, and he's already farther ahead in making those changes, being, 23 years behind me. And the person that he's going to become is
sky's the limit.
The sky is the limit. And he's so smart. I mean, listen to him. Mm-hmm. He's way more articulate than I was at that age. But yeah, our relationship, I think it's unlimited. It's going to be, it's like everything. You got to put some effort in. It's not just going to happen. I have to be available for him, and he's always available, but we both we both deal with anger issues. And like Mom was saying on the way over here, you know, he deals with his emotions the same way I used to. I revert back to it a lot, you know, rather than feeling like I want to cry, I would get pissed off and I would just carry this look on my face where don't talk to me so that I don't have to feel any other emotion. And I see that in him.
Oh, we all saw that.
Early sobriety, that was him.
That was him.
Well, that was me all the time. That was me since I was really young, because
if
I carried that, you wouldn't talk to me, which would mean I wouldn't have to open up. I wouldn't have to feel any other emotion than pissed off. And so that's the way I lived my life. And I carried that into early sobriety.
Well, an alcoholic father can do that, just like you had.
It still do.
Yeah, still do. Yeah.
Yeah. And so, yeah, I'm super optimistic about both of my kids. I really am. I'm blessed that they're not living in active addiction the way I did at that age. I'm super blessed. I can't say enough how fortunate my wife and I are that they're not. And it's probably from the example that I set, you know, and they saw and lived what it's like to have an addict in the house. And it's not pretty. You know, I tormented the shit out of them for a long time. And I don't want to say I'm sorry, because I know that's not right, but all I can do is every day just try to be a better person than I was.
Living amends.
In the beginning, that didn't take much, because I wasn't a very good person, so it didn't take a whole lot to be better. But every day, that's my goal. You know, I wake up like I just heard that Monday, but I ask God, please help me be better. And then at the end of the day, thank you for the small progress that I made, and we'll do it again tomorrow. That's what's getting me going, or gets me going, keeps me going, and motivation enough right there. You know, if I go back the way I was, I'll be hated.
Justin, do you see him as a softer man? Any different?
Oh, yeah. He's definitely a lot softer, but he's always been soft. But I feel like he used the drinking as a crutch, as a hit. Like what he just said. Like, I am this man, and you don't get to see the soft part because I don't want to feel like that. And I don't I don't want to bring this up, but I don't know if that has to deal with like what happened with like your parents and like when they were divorced, because that's a time period when you were also like 15, 16. I don't know exactly how old you were, but that could have carried over into you, and you're like, I don't want to feel like that anymore.
It did.
Absolutely. What it was.
And that's okay, because I mean, and also having known your father, fuck that man sometimes, because he's fucking irritating. Yeah.
Oh, I know.
I love my grandpa. Also, same thing about as regards to him, like love him but hate him. My grandpa, same fucking condition. I love that man. I grew up with that man. I walked thousands of miles with that man, but he is a piece of shit. That is a constant cesspool of revolting fucking piss, because all he wants to do is sit in misery.
Yeah. Poor me.
Doesn't he live on your property?
Yeah.
But he doesn't
His back's wore out from carrying that violin around.
But he does. Yeah.
Well, hey.
I mean, he's digging a ditch for that Panama Canal-sized river that he's crying.
Right.
Oh, I know.
You know, and I literally, I was just taking my mom home from the hospital. Same thing, dealing with that. I never can get that poor me bullshit. I never can. But
it's okay to be sad.
I think my question is that because in the very beginning you said that your dad is a very strong man, right? And you respect that. You know, and it's the same thing with me. My kids and my wife give me a hard time because I'm a big pussy now. When you bring one of my daughters in here, and I'll fucking cry like a little bitch because
you'll cry.
That's masculine too, though.
I'm telling you,
you're secure enough to cry.
And I see another man hurting, it kills me, right? I mean, that's why I read that thing in the very beginning. It's like, fuck me, why am I getting like this, right? Because the older I get, the more it hurts to see somebody hurt. And my kids, anything, fuck me, I don't like to see anybody hurt. I'm like, what the fuck is causing this? And I'm testosterone. What the fuck do I got?
Years of pent up.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to.
I got a question for you then, Larry.
Hit me.
If
fuck
you
yeah.
think no, seriously, because I was thinking here, because you're saying that because to me, I've always been a super emotionally driven person, even from a very young age, and it didn't take age for me to feel other people's pain.
Okay,
I felt pain in everything from when I was a super young age. I remember seeing my mom and seeing the things that my dad would do, or just other things that would happen, and I could feel that energy and feel through it, and it didn't take age. What age gave me was an articulation on how to articulate what my feelings were through an emotional state of voice and like through words. So
I agree with you.
My question is to you is, do you think age and the correlation of emotion, does it have to do with the articulation of it, or do you feel it more or more in tune with it as you get older?
I want to say it's this, Justin. I love that question. I want to say it's because of the closer I get to AA had a lot to do with it. When I turned over much of my shit, when I turned everything over,
I would agree with you with that because I've seen that.
Yeah, and that's what,
that same click with him.
And that's my point in asking you what I asked you is because when we go through that, when we let that shit up, because and I say this, and a lot of people say it, but when that trigger of that light, when I saw that and I felt that first layer of onion fall, I'm like, I felt what I was carrying, and I felt just that small ounce of weight come off of me. And the more I turned over stuff, the lighter I got, and the more this serenity came into my life, right? And I realized that I was drinking to get serenity, right? I was drinking to get that peace in my heart. Mm-hmm. And all I had to do was turn everything over, and I got that peace and I got that serenity, right? And the more I get it, unfortunately, there's a byproduct to it, and it's emotional, it's empathy, right? Because now I'm feeling, because I've allowed it, because I've learned how to do it, when I see you, I see him struggling through that, I want to do it for him, right? Let me carry that for you. I can carry it for you while I help you learn how to deal with it, right? That's where I get, right?
Also,
go.
I agree, disagree.
I'm also with Rob. I agree, disagree, because I don't think you should carry it. I think you should teach them to carry it.
And I know that. That's what we just read. I'm not supposed to.
No,
carry
I agree,
it, right?
disagree with who he is.
Who?
You've always been empathic. You've always been prone
I
to
think so,
empathy.
probably.
But our generation,
right. I hit the shit out of it.
We're not supposed to feel.
Right.
Yeah.
But he's always been this person.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. I've always felt, but I've never responded. And I don't give up.
And I was the same way growing up in a Portuguese house, where you're overbearing, but you're not supposed to. Our generation is not supposed to feel those.
Yes.
Or if you do feel them, you hide them, you bury them, you stuff them, you do not express them. But we've always been
Like
empathic to people.
These guys always make fun. He's gonna cry. Fucking A, I'm gonna cry.
So before we did that, we'd start a fight.
Right.
We'd get in an argument.
Right. I'd walk out.
Then as we got older, we'd bury it with other shit, so we didn't have to, because we didn't know how to process them, and we didn't want to process them because they were wrong to process. You're not supposed to have those anyway, son. Those are broken. That's what broken.
Right. I would just walk out.
But then once we learn, like you said, we're supposed to be whole people. We're supposed to feel every range of emotion and be able to process those. And then, but once we were broken through our own addiction, and we had no defenses, and we asked God, okay, here, I'm yours, mold me, or make me as you wanted me to be. I'm ready to be. And then, so now we don't fight it anymore. Cry when we cry, and we help others. And it's not my burden. Their burden is not mine to carry.
Perspective and acceptance.
Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Good point.
The perspective is the greatest gift a man can get.
Yep.
Absolutely. That's something that someone that I used to work with very close to me used to say to me almost on a daily basis was perspective.
It usually comes at the extent of pain.
Yes.
And discomfort.
Or doing bad choices at the extent of your own peril and job security.
Mm-hmm.
Did you say perspective and acceptance?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
I like that. Yeah, I mean, that's like Rob said. I had it all along. I just didn't want to, now these guys make fun of me. Oh, here goes Larry's going to cry. Yeah, fucking A right, I'm going to cry. Because you know what? I fucking love you. Because 4 years ago, I didn't give a fuck about you, him, me, no, her. I didn't give a fuck except for my bottle.
And what I do, Justin, I have a few videos on my phone. Actually, I've sent Larry a couple of them. One's about the silversmith. Yep. One's about the man on the middle cross.
Yep.
When I know I need to, when I'm working with a man and it's really because they don't see it. I'll go on a drive. I'll listen to watch my video. That's it's between me. Right. But then I'll let those emotions out, not for anybody to see, just for me.
You've let it go a little bit here.
Well, when we played it here, yeah.
You have. I mean, there's certain things where,
but I still struggle
as we go through, and this is the reason why this question came up originally, because he that hard ass that he was
curmudgeon.
right? And you see,
I like that word.
That's what I call that.
Curmudgeon,
That's
right?
Mr. Curmudgeon.
Yeah.
and you see that, and you
very
see
fitting.
that soften, right? It doesn't change the man he is.
No.
It really doesn't.
No.
What it to me, it made me a better man.
It reveals the man he wants
Right.
to be.
Correct. It made me a better man. I'm still the prick asshole underneath. I promise you.
Oh, yeah.
I will fucking rip you apart with a word. I promise that. It's still there. But I'm able to help. I'm able to suppress that. Not suppress it to where it's bubbling inside, but I'm able to turn that over every day with, Father, please take this from me today. Father, please show me a path to help another soul. Father, please show me how to be.
Get me out of here.
Yes. Father, please walk the path for me. You know, everything is please for me. And at the end of the day, same thing as
Thank
Brandon
you.
says, thank you. Thank you for
And
allowing
like
me to get
carry
through
on
the day.
with you. It's better to be a warrior in a garden than a gardener in a war.
For sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And those are, you know, and it's not only in the rooms of AA, it's made me a better boss, right? Because now
Oh,
when
by far.
when I see somebody struggling, I mean,
You can't bullshit a bullshitter.
no, and I'm right there. I'm down in the holes with him. Let me show you how to help you get out of this hole, right? I'm not yelling and screaming at him like I used to, right? You got to do this. You got to do this. You got to do. No, now I'm going to get down inside there with them, and I'm going to help them build them back up to get them back up out of that hole.
Now, I'm curious, since you guys deal with addicts and alcoholics a lot, I'm curious. What is it like? Because I've had friends where I've tried to talk to or have had to help or looked at, and I see, like, when going back to what I previously said, having friends or having acquaintances that I've known that have exploited the same symptoms as my dad or other people that I know, like, at what point do you realize that they are a lost cause?
Well, they are a lost cause until they realize they need help.
Yeah.
They're a lost cause. They're not. This is something we've talked about, Justin. We'd love to come up with it because you can see when that man just one more fuck up. This guy's probably going to get sober if it doesn't kill him, and there's no words you can tell him. There's nothing you can spray in their faces to give them over that one hump. They've got to be. We move at the speed of pain.
Okay, then to follow that up, also, how does the acceptance of that get? Like, how do you guys move through and get better at that? Because I find like that's harder. That's the hardest for me. Is
Does it
when
just piss you off?
I hold grudges,
Yeah.
especially with friends and people that I've taken a value with and have wanted and see that they are a good person, but all they want to do is just do self-destructive habits that do nothing but harm them, and they can't see that, and they can't understand that it just takes perspective and acceptance.
I think I jumped over this because I'd read way too much earlier. But the question was, when you see someone repeating those same destructive patterns, does that frustration come from knowing how much pain they're going through, or from remembering that you once behaved in the same manner?
Mine's different.
I said I'm. The sad part is I protect myself by turning my back on it because I can't watch it when they're fucking. When you tell them that flame's hot and the stupid fucker keeps touching the flame, fuck you. I'm done with you. I'm gonna bounce.
Well, to Justin's
Same
point,
thing I did to Kurt.
especially when you know,
Right.
man, this is like Lauren. He's not like us. He's an alcoholic like us, but he's really the salt of the earth type guy. And he's dead. He drank himself to death, because but you really want that. Like he's talking about, man, I love this guy. He's a good dude. You really want him to get it. And when you know, fuck, it's possible. I just watched a prick
Right.
get sober.
Right.
It's possible. That pisses me off
Yeah.
because you know it's possible.
But we do it to protect ourselves. I do it. Let me rephrase that. I do it to protect myself. When I try to work with a man and I can't get anywhere, I have to say, fuck you. You're on your own. And I bounce. But now let that man call me, and I'm right back down
No,
there
but I'll
with him.
plant.
Okay,
Justin,
so
I'll
you're
plant
saying
seeds.
you leave, but you leave the bridge open.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, see,
I plant a lot of seeds too.
Yeah, see, for me, for the longest time, I'm a big gasoline and match burner.
you
I'm
end
like, yeah, if
fuck
you're not
you.
in my life, I will burn that fucking bridge
Yeah.
and everything, piss on the flames. Fuck you,
that,
everyone in it.
But Justin, where you're at, that's where I live for a very long time.
So,
and when
and
I
I-
say that my empathy's gotten to the point, somebody like a Kurt, that the Kurt that was on here last time, when I was in Texas, I told him to fucking lose my number and never fucking call me again. Right? We all thought he was dead.
Yeah.
And he resurrections, right? And he's on the podcast and he's out over a year sober, right? So I had to do that for me because I couldn't continue to beat my head up against
I
the
didn't.
wall.
Okay.
I can't do that.
Right.
Okay.
I would plant seeds. Hey, you don't have to live like this if you don't want to. And I'm here when you ever want to talk about it, but I got to go.
Okay,
Because who you are, you are,
yeah.
if you burn that bridge, because you are someone that anybody could come talk to, and no matter what, you're going to give them solid advice. If you burn that bridge, their last crutch, their last ditch, they'd like to go to you, but you just burnt the bridge. They're going to go to someone who won't have that.
That's why I brought that up, because I've said over the last few years, like that's what that was my instant reaction, especially if you really pissed me off and you really did me wrong, I would just burn the bridge. But now it's been more of like, I'm just not going to say anything, and when we finally come back, if we do come back, it will be an open door.
Set up boundaries.
Yes.
You're setting boundaries, and that's what that says in there. Is you set, for me, I set boundaries, right? I'm just using Kurt. I set boundaries for him, but I say, don't fucking ever call me again. But he knew damn good and well if he would have called me, I would have picked, because I had done it 2 or 3 times before. And I'd said the same thing 2 or 3 times before.
And for me, I was 3 years sober, big primary purpose. I sponsored a guy. If you go down McHenry, you know what the Denny's is? We were doing step work. Hey, Rob, there's my bush. His name's Jeff. Jeff is 38 years. No,
because that's his fucking name.
That's his fucking name. Is Jeff. I don't do pseudonyms. His name's fucking Jeff. He was an electrician. They ended up. That was his bush. That's where he lived. We work on the steps. Now he's remarried. He lives in the Bay Area. He was in the union. We're doing great. So I know where a man can come from. We talked about the difference of the alcoholic who provides. He's still an alcoholic prick, just like the selfish and self-centered, just like the prick under the bridge. And I've seen both recover. Yes. That's why I don't give up on every human being. I don't give up on anybody. As long as if they come back and they're willing to work, I'll give them a shot. And I will never close the door or burn a bridge because I may be the only person they come talk to, if they're ready.
We can't, though. I mean, when I say we can't, our step 12 tells us we can't. We have to give away what was freely given to us, right? It doesn't matter
if they want to receive.
If they want to receive, but we continue to do it.
Go back to the bridge, yeah. Well, okay, I tell you about. There's one guy won't. Brandon sponsored him now, but he broke. I
don't know for how much longer.
He broke my rules 4 times, and I usually let you only do it once. But anyway,
but
that's love. Yeah. I still love him. And I'll help him in any other way, but I will not sponsor you.
Right.
So,
do you feel like you've been AA'd a little bit? Do you feel so like my kids?
Yeah, AA enters the home, and you start,
my wife, my kids, they've all been AA'd. I can promise you, because when my wife has, she'll correct herself when she knows she screws up. She'll correct herself, and she never do that before I start.
But my kids love. I used this on the podcast. This is maybe 6 months ago. Me and my wife I forget what we're talking about. We're in the living room. My daughter's got a towel on. She's coming from the shower, into her room. She stops in the middle of the hallway. Oh, Dad, what was your part? And then walked. I said, that bitch just ate me, just big book me, which I love. So they're listening. She was right.
Yeah.
I wasn't looking at my part.
I probably don't quote the book nearly as much as you guys probably do.
No, I don't. I would say that even if he did, I wouldn't listen. Or I wouldn't care.
Or he wouldn't know that. He wouldn't know that it's coming from the big book.
Brandon,
it's not. It wouldn't be anything intentional. It's just also we all have our own lives, and my time schedule and his time schedule really conflicts. Like I see him. I see him in the morning right before he goes to work, and as I'm getting ready to go to work.
Gotcha.
So we talk for 10 minutes, and then I see him when he gets home, and when I get home, and then I shower, and then I go and I hang out with my dog, and then I go to the gym, and then I don't get home until like 9, 10 o'clock at night sometimes. So then I don't see him again until the next morning, which is the 10, 15 minutes, and then I see him after work, and then is
he going with us in June?
Is he what?
Is he going with us in June? Second week in June?
I invited him. It depends on his work schedule.
Yeah, it just depends on work schedule.
But yeah, I'm hoping.
I think what I mean by that, I don't quote the AA book to these guys at all, but they recognize my different reactions to a lot of things, especially 8, 9, 10.
Probably
8, 9, 10.
The one thing that I would say that the house sees that I do that's AA is, and what you guys have said on here, is I eat crow hot.
Thank you. That's the point where I'm getting to.
If I say something wrong, I try to make it really quick. Hey, I was wrong, and I shouldn't have answered you that way.
Eat your crow hot.
Yeah, I try to make amends quickly now.
Yeah, I would say that I've seen it in that perspective, because I didn't necessarily understand the question about AA, because my dad's not necessarily someone that will exhibit or exhume outwardly pressures that have been put onto him to other people. He will just take everything in and then just be quiet and sit in a corner. So
We're trying to get that out of him.
yeah, I know. I'm
working on
a
it.
lot of people have been trying to do that for me for years too. So I mean, I'm slowly blossoming. So there's hope. I mean, but he's just a little later on the curve.
Yeah, he'll get there.
Yeah, eventually. Hopefully, he's not in a wheelchair or in a cane walker. Get him some sense of humor.
As long as he gets there.
Right.
But no, I didn't necessarily understand the question by that. But
That just,
I did.
like I said, that just where Katie, that 8, 9, and 10 is the biggest one that we do all the time, right? Is we correct ourselves almost immediately, right? When I say something to her, I mean, Katie and I have been in a fight on the phone, and I'll call her right back and go, "Holy fuck, you did not deserve an ounce of that," right? I was pissed off at so and so at work, and you didn't. You got the other part of it, you know. And I catch myself doing it all the time. Well, I catch Katie doing it now, right?
Yeah.
And not because I was preaching 8, 9, and 10 to her. It's only because she's witnessed it from me so many times that now it's caught on.
And kind of, and when he and my kids were young, they don't remember me drinking, so they remember this last 15 years of, and they wouldn't know exactly where the quotes were coming from, but just they'd come to me with stuff, and I would give them advice, and it's out of this.
Yeah,
so,
but
so
those are words of wisdom that they didn't even understand
Right.
before they even were.
right. So and then they'll give them back to me. So they'll AA you,
That's
which
what
is
I
just
meant.
God. It's just God
Yeah,
stuff.
it's
It's
just-
just God stuff.
That's just what I mean.
Well, then in that instance, then yes, anytime we ever, but I think the time period we do wait probably like a good maybe half day sometimes, depending. Like,
It'll
we don't
shorten up.
Yeah, it shortens up a little
Right.
bit, but we do kind of give like a grace period because
Yeah.
we both are quick to judge things on how we perceive them. And then we're very quick on assumptions. So if he says something and I assume, which happens, and then I hearken back, and then he assumes how I feel. So then now we're both mad. We end it. We both know we feel mad. So now we just stop talking to each other, and then we avoid the situation. And then we come back when we both feel happy, and we're like, okay, I was mad for this reason.
Right, there you go.
And then,
There it is,
and then
right
we
there.
talk it out, and then we're like, cool, pound fist, cool, leave.
There's
All
the
right.
pause.
Yeah.
There's the pause, right?
Yeah.
That's what I'm getting at. I mean, when you could figure out the pause before that shit spews out of your mouth, you know what? Let's pick this back
Pause
up
and
in a
reflect.
minute. Yeah.
Yes.
Let's pick that back up in a minute.
That is definitely, I would say, one of the biggest things that I would say has been an improvement with our relationship, because we're so quick to fire back, especially if you get on our nerves and you
Personalities.
Yeah, and it's the conflict of it's the conflict of heads. Like we
Right.
just think the same, so we know how to push each other's buttons. Like he knows what to say to make me mad in probably 5 words, and I know what to say to make him mad in probably
fact.
5 words. It wouldn't take a whole lot to make him mad, and I know exactly what to say, and he does the same thing. So if you can just avoid that, and we do for the most part, then we can just be like, all right, hold up, we'll come back, and then we'll talk about this later.
Let's shelf this for the
Yeah,
moment.
exactly. Like I'm gonna
That's
go
wisdom.
and wash
Right.
my truck. You go wash your
Right.
car.
That's-
We'll come back, and then
That's part of AA though, moving in, because if there's somebody has to start it. Right?
Yes, absolutely.
Somebody has to start that, and if he says, you know what, Justin, let's just pause this for a minute. You learn that same thing, and all of a sudden now you're AA'd by what he's brought in. That's kind of what I was bringing back in.
yes.
What do you want for the future as far as you and your dad's relationship? What do you see for that?
What do you mean by that? Like,
I mean, do you
what-
see
I
it
think,
growing in a? I mean, you guys are very close. I mean, even though you guys are oil and water, sometimes you two are very close. I mean,
Absolutely.
I thought, because I'm an outsider, I haven't had the opportunity to meet you and see you guys. Rob had a little bit. I thought there was more animosity between the two of you than there is. There's not. There's really not. I mean, him explaining when you came home from the bar, your last drunk, him explaining that night, and he was just going to kill everybody. He was going to kill everybody, and you getting involved in it. That to me is where I'm still stuck on that part. Right?
Yeah, but to me, that's where when I brought up the fact, like when I was going through that, like even if I go out and like people can do, everyone is capable of certain things depending on circumstances, and it's also motive, emotion,
Yes.
What all of the circumstances, a lot of things drive a person to do certain things. So yes, I might have felt that in the moment, but it takes a lot. It's just like having cancer or having any of the. It takes more than one symptom for me to constantly be in an elevated state of anger and because it's draining.
Right.
I understand at an age now that I can't sustain a level of hate and hatred every day towards a man that I live with. That's just not sustainable for my brain, for my sanity. I cannot sustain that. So if I can, and now if he does that, you best bet my brain will immediately go back to that mode and immediately go back to how I need to feel. But it's just like going back to saying it's better to be a warrior in a garden than a gardener in a war, because I know what I can do when it needs to be done, but I don't need to be like that all the time.
Right. That's very good knowledge, honestly.
But it is draining. I mean, you realize it's just. I mean, I don't want to spend my energy that way.
Right. No, it's not. It's just going back to the time. You can't. Time is the one thing that the one commodity that we prize over everything.
You should.
If I spend most of my time being pissed off and mad or worried or whatever about one other person than myself or the people that actually care about me or the people that are caring about themselves and are helping each other, that's just taking away from them and effort that I can put towards them.
I'll answer that, Larry. If I hadn't quit drinking, that would have festered big time.
Yes.
Oh, that would have fucking turned into a big fucking fight.
Right. No,
that's some shit.
That's
and I
evident.
knew that was it. I'd done it.
Yeah.
I'd pushed everything way too far.
Oh yeah, that was.
If I don't make a change, big changes were coming.
So
I made the change.
Your catalyst was Justin. Mine was Pat not answering my phone.
Well, and also because he didn't realize he said that. The next morning, Jamie told him what he had said.
Yeah.
I mean, it goes back to what I've said multiple times is what was that click? What was that click, right? Yeah. And my click was Pat not answering. His click was threatening to kill everybody in the house, right? I mean, and then be reminded of it, right? I mean, that's just those. And you know what? It seems so stupid because our wives can tell us they're leaving. Our wives could say, do everything in powers and nothing clicks until something simple.
Those are all straws.
Right.
Those are all weight, because we move at the speed of pain. Those are all just little bit of burden to carry until you never know when it's going to happen or if it's going to happen. But when a man
I pray it does.
Well, they pray it does. I was hoping it would never break. I thought I was going to die that way. It's like, right. I'm going to die a drunk. All right, Lord, this is just where I'm going to go. And he had different plans for me. But then when my dam broke, it broke. I can't. It just is what it is.
Praise God, mine did.
Right.
Yeah.
Anything else?
No, I think.
Now we're going to find out how the family stayed together and the backbone.
We are going to bring Jamie on, and we're going to take a little break. We are going to bring the Monarch on, the one that held it all together. Right, same as my Katie, right?
Matriarch.
What did I say?
You said monarch. like a butterfly.
Well, she is my butterfly. She is my butterfly. All right, let's get out of here. Right. Thank you, Justin.
For listening to the Recovery Unfiltered podcast.
We got to change this.
We appreciate you being here today. If you'd like to reach out to us, please email us at recoveryunfilteredpodcast@gmail.com. We will do our best to answer all of your emails.